Hello YouTube and welcome to Kapow Toys Presents. I am your host King Grimlock, and tonight we're going to be looking at the Takara Tomy version of Desert Combat Rampage, or more commonly known as Rampage in movie accurate colours. The first thing that really struck me about this toy is the amount of detail that has gone into this alt mode. It is stonking. It is a brilliant alt mode. I'll get around to the front in a minute. But the fact you've got rubberised treads, the fact you have a moving bucket at the front, a bulldozer blade at the front, the fact that you have the claw draggers at the back. I'm not sure, I don't know the details, I don't work with the things, I don't know anything about construction vehicles. Someone please let me know, enlighten me. But the fact they've got all these sculpted details, things have actually been picked out with paint apps. We have a clear area in the cabin that beautifully gets light through it. Amazing. And then the bulldozer blade. Weathered, oiled, it shines, it's glorious, it looks beautiful. I'm quite surprised at how nice that looks and how taken with it I was. I'd heard nothing but average to poor things about this toy, and I can see where some of the complaints have come from, I must admit, but on the whole, I'm really impressed with what I've seen with him for his alt mode. Is just stunning. The detail in the wheels, and he's a good size. He's a massive deluxe. What I would have liked, to be honest, is parts being picked out in the engine area around here that is all sculpted in. But other than that, I can't really find any fault to say with the alt mode. I love the texture on this paint. I really, really wish that the rest of it had been painted rather than cast, because that texture over the entire toy would have been sensational. And again, I just feel that, I love that view. Love that shimmer. It's got the oil pack. Oh, it's lovely. I just, again, I'm going to say it again as I've said it before, a pro customizer could work absolute wonders with this. Just the detail they have to work with. Now, this guy does actually have 3 official modes. This is number 1. And I do believe this is the second mode. And I say I believe is because I don't actually have the instructions for this guy. And let's be fair, anyone who has a Rampage probably knows he's not exactly the easiest to transform. Parts seem to go all over the show. But I believe this is the jackhammer mode. Because if you press down on his shoulders, everything moves in unison in the legs and on the pistons on the side. I apologise, guys, if I've got any of these transformations wrong. I've had a look online at images and things, and this is the closest approximation I can get. I like this mode. I think he looks absolutely fantastic. I think he's a great little figure, actually. What gets me the most, I mean, it's got errors. It's got big errors, but the little moments of detail that really highlight this, the fact they've bothered to put a jackhammer mode in, it seems silly, it seems trite, but you know what? It really highlights some of the other areas. The arms, for example, I mean, these are the whips in the film. These flashes about all over the place, and the arms aren't very well articulated at all. But the way it transforms, the fact that you've got these rubberized treads, the fact that it transforms so it runs through, over one gear, under another, and appears to go in and back out the top. It's a lovely little bit of detail, the fact they've added this extra in. I mean, that can be up there, but why? You want it there. It looks like it all runs together. And it's the attention to detail on the movie toys that I do give it great respect for, even if I don't overly like the aesthetic on the majority of them. The head sculpt is very, very well done, hugely detailed. It does have light piping through the top of the head. And again, I can respect exactly what they've attempted to do with it, or what they have done with it. The arms are fantastic. This design I absolutely love, and the fact that it does have movement to it. It's just a shame that these gears don't actually turn, to be honest with you. But as a third mode, which most of these Constructicons appeared to have, he's exceptionally competent. I do like this mode. It's just a shame that it would take quite the precision to actually make him stand up. I'm not even going to risk it. Let's go for the third mode, which is the official robot mode. And here we have Rampage in his, what I think anyway, official third mode, which is his Centaur mode, robot mode, Centaur mode. I love how big he is. Look at the length on that. It's crabby, it's insectile. I don't know. It's really different. I mean, it's massively different. It's really nicely put together as well. The little intricate joints and everything that actually make up this back section to support him are really well done. The downside is actually that the jackhammer mode, a mode that I actually like the aesthetic of, is the downside of this, because this joint here is on a single bar, so it can have the bounce, which means that you can't really get too much posability out the front legs. So he does become a little bit static in this mode. You have the posability in the arms, but the only posability in the arms is at the joint of the shoulder to move them backwards and forwards, which means he does become, as I say, a bit of a static piece. It's a real shame, because there's a lot of aesthetic things on this that are just spectacular. The ideas are great. Overall, I am very impressed by what I've seen. I love the colour scheme. I'm really glad they've actually done it movie accurate rather than just leaving it as the yellow one. I'm impressed with the amount of intricate parts that clip in and clip out. These arms are spectacular. I really want them to be revisited in another form, another toy. I really can see some real scope there with these treads. A tank maybe. I don't know, but I really love the use of the treads of the whips and the way they've done it, and the gears, I think, looks amazing. I love the head sculpt. I love how much character they've actually got into him, and the light piping in there as well. It's it's a real nice effect. That's one thing they've got to him. They've got a lot of character into him. If you like the Revenge of the Fallen line, I can't actually see any reason why not to get him. He is fiddly. He is intricate. He does take some putting together to create the overall aesthetic of him. To get this to this mode, it takes some effort, but you know what, you actually get quite a lot out of it. Unfortunately, you don't get posability in this mode, which is the shame. The fact that the robot doesn't give you a massive amount of showability. He takes up a lot of space and doesn't do much, but his alt mode and his jackhammer mode are both superb. If you do fancy ordering one, they are available now at Kapow Toys. And thanks for watching, guys.